Why, hello everyone. It's another day with everything but the AC. So today, like my last video that I did, I was doing stuff on the chicken coop and doing some barley, planting barley so it grows up and like that, and that's turned out pretty good. I've got them in the garage right now, and they're starting to sprout. So it's pretty exciting. I just like to see things grow, and I like tangible things. That's it. You know, all day long I sit behind a desk doing HR stuff, and it's not tangible by the end of the day. It goes into a computer system, but this stuff that I do here, it's tangible, and that's what I like about it. So anyways, let me get on with it. So what I'm going to do today is tonight, it's actually evening. I just got back from, of course, what do? Have to go get parts and everything like that. So I just got back from getting parts, but what I'm going to do here is redo my automatic chicken waterer. And so I'll give you a little of what it used to look like. So just a big 4-inch PVC pipe, had this coming off of the bottom. Toilet drain valve, because I have it running off the city system, and so the city water here in Phoenix, it pressures about 75 psi at the house, and so I needed something to be able to relieve the water pressure for the chicken nipples right here, and something that wasn't going to pressurize the back of them, because once it's pressurized, then they couldn't push up on this. And I tried. I was like, oh, I'll put a reducer on it. Well, reducer only reduces so much, and then it's still super pressurized. It relieves the pressure in here, and then it's just basically gravity fed to those nipples. They come up and shake on them, and they get the water. So, but the reason that I'm doing this is because I originally built this about 6 years ago. So the chickens have been using it for about 6 years, and I decided, these things are made out of plastic. And about a year ago, me and my wife were sleeping. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden, I just heard water just rushing, and it's flowing over the toilet and back. And what had happened, the one that was in our bathroom, this top piece, I think it was this top piece that busted off or something right underneath there, and it was shooting just water straight out and hitting the top of the toilet. Well, once that just filled up, it was just all over the floor. And what I didn't want to happen is for the same thing to happen, when we're out of town, or we're at work or whatever. So I figured, you know what, it's been on there for 6 years. I'll put a new one on. Then it'll just give me my peace of mind. But this thing has worked great for 6 years. Had several flocks of chickens using it. So, but one of the things I'm kind of disappointed in is that where I buy my farm goods, I guess, I buy them at the stock shop, but these are the chicken watering nipples that I had bought before. And you see that grommet that's on there? Well, when I tried to take them out of the one I just had so I could reuse them, of course, here in Arizona, if it's rubber, it's gonna rot. So so I went back to the stock shop to try and find these, and of course they didn't have them. So went to local Ace Hardware. They had some. After some searching, took us quite a while to find them, because they're like, I've never seen those before. Some girl that working there, she's probably like maybe 19 or 20. Oh yeah, I know exactly where that. Walks over and finds them. There's 3 of us looking for them. But problem with these ones, if you can see that, is that they're threaded. So it says you can use them in PVC, but of course, if they're threaded, I don't want to glue them in, mess up the movement of the little piece. So got into my tap kit, and I already did a test run to see if it worked. So took the old one, drilled a hole in this right side, tapped it, got the threads going, was able to screw that in, and I don't think it's going to leak. Hopefully, if it does, all right, I go back and redo it again or seal it up. Like I said, it's just gravity pressure. It's not, there's no water pressure behind it. So so let me go through the kind of the list of things that I've got here. So this is what's going to go up into the tank portion. So I'm going to put it up in here, and then I'll glue on this piece of PVC on the top, which will sandwich in there. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the top, because this is where the water is going to flow from the little 4-inch tank. It's going to flow into here. Then I've got a length of PVC to go in here. This is where all the nipples will hang off, right here. And then I just got an end cap and a cap to cap it off. I decided to go with a threaded cap this time, because that way I can, you know, run a hose through it or whatever if it, you know, starts to get nasty in there. Makes it a little bit easier. So there's those items. A couple things else that you're going to need. You're going to need the end caps. So this was the cap off of the old one. I'm just going to reuse it. I like to, you know, make sure that I reuse everything. But this is where we're going to drill the holes. This is where the outlet for the chicken nipples, and this is where the automatic, where the water pressure comes in, and then the toilet valve will be sitting in here. So I've got that one for the bottom, got this one for the top. After I'm all done, I'm gonna paint it all up. Of course, I got my hose that's gonna come from the city water and up into the bottom, which, where's it at? It goes straight from here. This is a reducer one, but you see it threads straight on there, and it seals up nice and tight because it's got a rubber grommet in here. Now, it said nothing works like you want. And I was at Ace Hardware for a while trying to find these parts, but so basically this is what's going to go down on. I've got a shut-off system. It's going to, you know, shut-off valve, manual shut-off valve, so if I want to take it apart and everything like that, I don't have to go and turn off the whole house water. But this is what I don't remember how I built this the last time, so I thought I had an actual piece, but I couldn't find it or anything like that. But I thought I had a cap that went in here. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this in there, but it's just a little too big. So I'm going to sand this down just a bit, and then just use my PVC glue and glue it together, and that way that will work there. What else? I think that's about it for right now. I'm gonna kind of clip this video together. Oh, one of the things that you're gonna do also, especially here in Arizona, you want to use Schedule 40 PVC. Don't use that flimsy stuff. This is gonna be above ground, so it's not gonna be protected from any of the elements or anything like that, or the heat. And the Arizona sun is brutal on PVC, and so don't get anything less than the Schedule 40. So I will click back on here in a few minutes when I start getting going, and see you in a bit. It didn't shut off. All right, everyone. So back at it. So what I did is I went and did a couple like little things that needed to be done for these pieces. Like I said, one is I went and drilled a hole in here, and I used my Fosna bit. It's Australian for drill bit. Anyways, so what I did is I drilled a test hole in here to make sure, one, that to see if this piece would work, which it doesn't, but the toilet valve does. So what I did is I'm going to do a test run on this, and what I want to do is make sure, I want to screw it on, get it lined up, and I want to make sure that once I put the little reservoir tank on, that it's got enough room to clear the sides so this can move freely. And so I can adjust this, you know, a little bit left and right based off of, you know, just by sitting and moving the nut. So, because if that doesn't work, then you might have a problem, because then your water won't shut off. So it's kind of eyeballing it. Looks like it's going to clear. And then what we'll do is we'll fit this over the top, push it down. Now you don't want to push it down tight, because if you've ever worked PVC before, it almost like it glues itself even without glue, and it's a pain to get off. So yeah, so it looks like it's clear on the sides. Just a little bit. Yeah, so the float, I don't know if you can see that. You know, it's a pretty compact area, but you don't need a whole lot, because as the, you know, this thing's gonna fill up here. Yeah, I can adjust it, but it's gonna fill up to about right here with water. So that's probably, what is that? Probably about 2 liters of water. And then as it comes out into the PVC pipe over here, it's got that much water. And as they drink it, there's no way that they're gonna drink it fast enough to keep this from not filling up. Like I said, it's gonna have 75 PSI coming in here. There's no way that they can drink it. So you don't have to have a big reservoir. You just need to have it to where all the guts fit in there like that. And I put it down a little bit lower, and I can adjust this. This has an adjustment on it to you know, for the length right here. It's on the inside right here. But so if I wanted to put more water, but I don't need the water in there. What I want the water to do is make sure that as they're drinking, it's replenishing it. I don't want to just sit in there and be stagnant, because then, you know, who wants to drink gross water? I know chickens don't. I don't. So, but anyways, so I don't need a whole lot of water. I just need it to continue to cycle through there as they're drinking it. So, and 4 nipples on here. Yeah, 4 nipples. I've got 8 chickens in the coop. Not yet. They're going to be in the coop. They're in the house, but I will have 8 chickens in the coop. And I've had, I think at one time we had 12 birds in there, and I only had 3 nipples, and it was just fine. So, yeah. So anyways, I did that. And then for the other side, of course, I'm gonna have to drill that hole a little bit bigger for this to go in. But what I did is I showed you that I had to cap, and went on like that. So I cut the top off the cap, and then I cut it, into two little rings. So I'm gonna glue that ring on right there, and then this is gonna go up in the hole through the base, and then I'll glue this one on, and I'll kind of make it a sandwich. So that way I don't have to worry about water leaking out here, and plus any of the water that's in the reservoir, it only has to, the reservoir would only have to fill up 1/4 of an inch to start filling up this. It just has to be able to flow over the top. So that's what I did right there. That works. The bottom piece works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and cut the hole for this to fit in. And I wish I you know, I don't want to, you know, carry my camera around and everything like that. So, and you probably just don't want to see me cutting holes. I don't want to watch people just cut holes, but so I'm gonna get back at it, and I'll see you right back here in just a few minutes. All right, so went and put a cap on. So I went back and watched the previous little segment that I had made, and I realized I'm sniffling a lot. Well, I apologize for that, but it's like 55 degrees out right now. I have allergies, the wind's blowing, and so anyways, I apologize for that. I noticed that in the last video. And a couple things happened since the last video. My phone shut off and said you have too much information on there. Can't record. So it automatically shut off, so then I had to go through and delete a bunch of stuff. But anyways, so let's get back at it. So what I did is I went and I drilled the holes in the PVC for all of the nipples, and I threaded them in. I did tap them. Oh, and another thing. Earlier I told you about Schedule 40 PVC. So I didn't have my glass on when I was looking at it, and I don't know where this garbage came from, but I had this piece of PVC, which is what I was going to use, and you see the diameter, inside diameter, and that. So I apologize for that. But what I was doing was I went to cut it and put it towards the end where you can kind of see. But I went to cut it, and you see how it's kind of bouncing in and out. And I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? And then I got to looking at it, and I'm like, this isn't Schedule 40. And so I don't know where I got this from, because I don't buy it, but I had like 2 or 3 feet of it. So anyways, so all right, so I got that piece put together there. I've got I got both of the holes drilled, And I showed you before how this one didn't fit in. Well, now it does fit in. So now it fits in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start gluing this together, and I'm gonna try to let you see how I do it by adjusting the camera down more towards the table, which I can't see it, so hello. All right, so there's my reference point right here, so I'll work with it right here. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do is got my Red Hot, my Christie's Red Hot. It's not Frank's. You don't put it on everything. So, but I am going to, and hopefully this works the way I want it to, because I want to be able to glue this bottom piece on first, and then glue the top piece on and sandwich together, like I was telling you guys before, like I was saying before. So it's got to be one of those, I got to kind of do it fairly quickly. So let's get both pieces over here, make sure they slide on. Yeah, that should work. All right, let's get after it. You don't need a whole lot of this stuff, and if it drips on stuff, it's not the end of the world, but I'm just trying to, what I do want to do is get a nice good seal on both sides. So, all right, don't do that to me. And this stuff sets up fairly quickly, so mind if I get it on this jacket. But I do want to make sure that I get enough to where it seals when I squeeze it together. And you probably don't need to, but I always do a little bit inside there, just so it gets hot and starts doing a melt job on that. Oh, I'm gonna put it up through there like that. Sandwich that together like so. Get a nice squeeze on it. And hopefully that will stay and not leak. We shall see when we test it out tomorrow after it has dried a little bit. Again, there's not going to be any pressure in here. It's just going to be gravity pressure on that. So if it leaks, we put a little bit of Red Hot around there, it'll seal it up. So, all right, so we got that on there like that. Seems like it's good to go. Now what I'm going to do is glue this in here like that. Yeah, this is a little bit longer on the end. So, and again, you want, it's because they're gravity feed, you want to make sure that they're pointed straight down, because if they are not, then they won't seal properly and they might leak. You don't want them pointed at an angle. So trying to show you guys as putting it in, but kind of eyeball it. Yeah, kind of eyeball it. It's straight. So and got a good seal all the way around it. Just gonna smooth it out. I'm gonna paint this shit after a little while, after everything sets up. Let's make it look a little nicer. But there we go. That part's done. Should have brought a rag out with me. As you can tell, this jacket has seen better days. This is one of my army jackets that I was using to grind with and wasn't paying attention. Heated it up. So, all right. Now we're going to glue the end of this on here. Like I said before, what I was doing is I'm going to glue it on and then glue this on, and I got a cap to go over the end of this. I got a cap to go over the end of it. Again, I did that just so if I want to clean this out, it's not glued on in the end. I'm trying to make it as, if I ever take this apart and do this again like the other one, I could. It was, everything was glued on, and so there was no redoing it and reusing pieces. It was, that was it. So and me, I'm not a person that likes to go out and spend money if I don't have to, which I'm sure most of you are too, because that's why you watch DIY videos on YouTube, which is the same reason why I watch DIY videos on YouTube. I want to see what's out there. And again, I'm just gonna, this isn't sealing it or anything like that. I'm just making it to where it looks a little bit nicer. Not like the chicken's gonna care, and it's not like anybody's gonna come into my chicken coop and be like, hey, that doesn't look nice, it's not nice and uniform. Well, it is for me. That's what I do. I'm just gonna lightly screw this on here right now, just because that's not set, and I can do that later. It doesn't need to be, it's super tight, but I don't want to break that seal right there. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put that piece in there. Screw that on. But I think you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm doing. But I'm enjoying making these videos, and I hope you're enjoying watching them. Again, I live in Phoenix. I do have some land in Missouri that I'm going to retire to, that me and my wife are going to retire to. So I'll probably be doing this on a much larger scale, doing more videos on a much larger scale in the future, just because I try to do everything myself if I can. That's why it's called Everything But the AC, right? So there you go. That's it. I'm gonna put this on here, make sure that everything lines up correctly. I'll tap this on all the way, and then it shouldn't leak. I don't, and again, like I was telling you before, if you ever work with PVC, if it's under pressure, it'll break apart. But it's not, if it's not under pressure. This isn't going to be under pressure. So what happened on the last one is it never leaked, because it was all it was doing was filling up and just showing water, or just holding water, not showing water, but just holding the water in there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to smack that sucker on. I'm going to fill this up with water, and then just do a leak test on it. But that'll be for tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late. It's getting a little bit chilly. I don't want to have my hands all wet. But yeah, so like this video. I don't know where it's at because I haven't really posted any of my videos yet, but wherever it's at, why don't you like and subscribe. And there's a little bell that's supposed to be somewhere around here. And I'm trying to start doing more and more videos, I'm not trying to become a YouTube. I'm not trying to become YouTube famous or anything like that. But there's quite a few interesting things out there that are on YouTube that I'm like, hey, why didn't I think of that? You know, so anything that can help you guys out in a pinch. But thank you very much for subscribing, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much. Bye. I gotta use the button here. Hey everyone, how you doing? So I'm really bad sometimes at finishing my videos, and I just realized that I'd never finished what the chicken coop, the watering system was gonna be. So here I am, and we are going to show you what it looks like. So again, this is the one I put the toilet valve in, and it works great. I had to raise it today, and that's what reminded me of redoing the video, is because I had to raise it. I'm like, oh, I never finished that. So, but anyways, let's see. You can see it right there. That is what it looks like, all finished. I put that chain on there just in case one of the birds decided to try and use that as a roost or something. So, but I had to get a new line today to raise it up, because now the chickens are bigger. But there it is. That's it. And here's the rest of the inside of the coop. Put the perches in. Perches in there. I did have to move the food bucket because I had the food bucket hanging from the perch right here. And of course they're all pushing down to this end and pooping on top of the food bucket, and so it's kind of gross. But oh, and then that's my barley patch. You can see it's kind of getting a little bit peaked. It's just because the birds sit on top of there and poop and knock down all the grass or all the barley. So, but, and here are our backyard chickens. See that? And there's Miss Greta, the English pointer bird dog. She's gotten quite used to the chickens. Just kind of sits and follows them around. Doesn't really pay too much of attention to them. So, isn't that right, Miss Greta? Isn't that right? Yeah, you good girl, huh? Yes, you are. All right, so that'll finish out that segment. I'll put it together using some video clip thing that my son showed me about, and hopefully hit the like and subscribe button. So, all right, on to the next one.